Theater, the podcast that doesn't give a shit about spoilers. We just want to talk about the movies. My name is Megan Kearns. My pronouns are she, her. I write film reviews for Edge Media Network. I'm a co-host of the Slashers podcast, a member of the Boston Online Film Critics Association, and a member of Gallica, the Society of LGBTQ Entertainment Critics.
My name is Dave Riedel. I write about movies. I'm a member of the Boston Online Film Critics Association, and I forgot to mention my pronouns are he, him.
My name is Evan Crean. My pronouns are he, him. I'm co-chair of the Boston Online Film Critics Association, co-author of Your 80s Movie Guide to Better Living, co-host of the It's the Pictures podcast, and I'm wearing a t-shirt with Darth Vader on it that says #1 Dad in the Galaxy.
Amazing.
Yeah.
Also, guys, reunited and it feels so good. The gang is back together. All three of us
Very
are
excited.
here.
Yes.
It's been about a month, so I'm very, very excited.
Yeah. Wow. It
We're
has
all
been.
here. I'm so excited.
Yeah. It's good to be back.
I am very excited that I didn't have to watch one of the two movies we're doing tonight. So this is the best kind of reunion.
I love it. I love it. Well, we hope you're excited that we're all back together too. And we want to tell you about our other episode, our bonus episode over on Patreon. We put those out every week. And this week we talked about the new movie Companion, or new-ish because it came out earlier this year. And we had a really great conversation. So go check that out if you're a patron and if you're not, consider joining. Also want to give a huge thank you to our sponsor piece patron, Heather Sachs. Thank you so much, Heather.
Thank you, Heather.
Thanks, Heather.
And we've got two movies that I'm really excited to talk about. We have the sequel to A Simple Favor, Another Simple Favor, and we have Clown in a Cornfield, the slasher horror comedy.
Yep.
Clown in a cornfield.
Straightforward title.
Very much is. It is what it is. It is what
Yep.
it says it is. So we're going to kick things off with Another Simple Favor. Evan and I both saw it. This is the movie Dave was alluding to that he did not get to see.
Yeah.
So this is much like the first film. This is a comedy mystery, and it's directed by Paul Feig. It's written by Jessica Sharzer and Leda Kalogridis, and it stars Anna Kendrick and Blake Lively. And let me give you the synopsis from the press release. Stephanie Smothers and Emily Nelson reunite on the beautiful island of Capri, Italy, for Emily's extravagant wedding to a rich Italian businessman. Along with the glamorous guests, expect murder and betrayal to RSVP for a wedding with more twists and turns than the road from the Marina Grande to the Capri Town Square. I'm sorry,
Oh
that
my
synopsis is ridiculous. And I read it beforehand and it's still ridiculous. So, yeah. So this picks up about 5 years or so after A Simple Favor. And if you saw A Simple Favor, or even if you did not, basically they're both moms. They become friends through their kids who are friends at school. And Stephanie is a single mom, and she's a vlogger. And Emily, who is Blake Lively, is like glamorous and really assertive. And Stephanie's enamored with her. And there's murder, and Emily goes to prison. And that's how the first film ends, where she's in prison. And Stephanie has her thriving vlog, and she's living the life. So now we have picked up a few years later, and Stephanie is an author of a book titled Faceless Blonde that's all about Emily and all about basically the first film.
Yep.
And she goes to her book reading, and I guess her book's not selling very well, or the pre-orders are not doing well. Something's not going well. And she hasn't uploaded a vlog in a couple of months. So that's not doing great. So she's all right, but she's not like thriving anymore. And her son's now a teenager. And then while she's doing her book reading, who shows up but Emily?
Dun, dun,
Decked
dun.
out. Dun, dun, dun. And Emily is all decked out. And Stephanie's like, wait a minute. How'd you get out of prison? what, aren't you supposed to be in prison? What's happening?
Mm-hmm.
And so Emily is engaged to this guy who is loaded and got her out of prison, essentially. So now she's getting married and she's like, hey, I want you to be my maid of honor. And because you're my best friend. And Stephanie is like, no way, I'm not going to be your maid of honor because you're going to try to kill me or do something shady. And then she basically blackmails her. And so she's like, I'm going to sue you, because you used my likeness without my permission, which is not really how that works, but okay.
Yeah.
And but all right. So Stephanie's like, okay, I'll go. And her agent goes to accompany her because Stephanie's like, I can't be alone with her. And then also at the wedding is Emily's her ex-husband, who is the father of her son, her now teen son, played by Henry Golding. And he also had a thing with Stephanie back in the first film. And so he's miserable that he's there. He hates them both, doesn't want to be there. He's just busy getting drunk and being snarky and
surly. He's a surly Henry Golding.
It is. Henry Golding should maybe be surly more. But
yes, I'm about it.
Right? I was too. I was like, he might be the best part of this movie. Mm-hmm. Yeah. So anyway, and then what else is happening? Oh, Allison Janney. Oh, I was going to say, well, before he turns up dead, he does turn up dead. Surprise. Allison Janney is there, and she's the aunt that Emily never knew about. Yes, Dave.
Who turns up dead? What?
Well, we were rewinding, but now, Henry Golding ends up dead.
He's the one who ends up dead?
Yes, he ends up dead. Well, somebody else ends up dead too. Don't worry. There's a second murder.
More murder.
Yeah, so Henry Golding says to someone, what are you doing here while he's showering in his hotel room? He's like, I don't want to see you. I don't want to talk to you. And then he gets stabbed in the finger with a poison and he dies and he bleeds out his eyeballs. And
and
would bleed out their eyeballs a lot everywhere. Lately.
Yeah, there's just water all over the place, and he just dies in the middle of the bathroom floor.
Yeah. So Emily has also, I forgot to mention, she's also been solving murders. She's really leaned into true crime and solving mysteries and stuff. So she thinks that there's foul play, and the detective there is like, no way, this was just an accident. And she's like, that's crazy. This is not an accident. And he's like, no, it's an accident.
He's bleeding from his eyeballs.
Right. And because he doesn't want to get involved with anything going on the island because the wedding involves the two families who are feuding who are in the mob. So he doesn't want to upset anyone and do anything, I guess. So then the wedding happens and it's a big to-do. It's happening on a cliff essentially and woo, woo, woo. And then Emily gets married and then her husband, he dies and Stephanie sees him get shot and then he falls into this building where fireworks are going off. And so then he basically gets shot and then burns. And she sees this, but she doesn't see who shot him. And so then Evan, I was like, I know I'm messing a lot of details, but then she gets framed for it.
Yeah, Anna Kendrick's character gets framed for
Stephanie. Yes.
Yeah, she gets framed for the murder because she was there. She was seeing it all happen and then runs to get everyone. Then what else? The rest of the movie is about her trying to clear her name. Yes. But then there's also dun dun dun. Turns out there was a triplet in the Blake Lively family, another sister.
You do know that in the first film they talk about her triplet sister and how
didn't they think that she died?
Yes,
they
at birth.
Thought that she died, but guess what? She didn't die. Allison Janney, the aunt, raised her, and she's weirdly emotionally stunted and seems to have
weirdly emotionally stunted.
Yeah, in the sexually assaults Blake Lively.
Yes,
being I'm gonna assault my twin sister. Mm-hmm. And that is a really weird thing that is thrown into the movie and treated very matter-of-factly. And I was like, it's probably the most bizarre element of this movie.
It's so callous and so just, you're absolutely right, Evan. It's gross and it's weird.
It came out of nowhere. And then I was like, oh my God, this is really happening? What the fuck movie?
Yes. And then there's other side things. There's a weird FBI agent who's terrible and inept at her job. Then there's also Dante, the the husband who ends up dead. There's his mother who hates Emily, and so
right. And then
there's
it
other
turns out
shit
that
too,
he
but-
was in love with the other guy from the families that were
Yes, from the
fighting.
feuding family.
He was in love with the guy from that family, and they had a whole relationship going on
Mhm.
in secret. And the whole like wedding was like a ruse so they could try to be together. It's like,
Yes.
I don't fucking know.
And so Emily could get money to get out of prison, so it was kind of a mutually beneficial friendship wedding, like a lavender wedding.
Yeah, this movie's way too fucking busy. It's got way too much going on.
Well, you heard it here, folks. Evan doesn't like to be bored in movies, and he doesn't like it when too much is going on.
No busy movies and no boring
No
movies.
busyness. I think to be nicer about what I just said, too busy with things that are fucking what the fuck, you know?
Yeah.
Yeah.
It just seems like they're throwing they're throwing the kitchen sink at this to maybe try to outdo the first one. Like, we got to have more mysteries, more plot lines, it's like, it does. I don't think it works because they're just trying to do too much and not delving enough into any one direction or treating any one direction with enough like attention to be interesting. That's my.
I think I have a comparison. If A Simple Favor is Batman Forever, another Simple Favor is Batman and Robin.
Listen, Batman and Robin's
with
not
the bat
bad, so I
nipples.
don't agree with
No.
you.
I actually
I don't
kinda
agree
like
with you.
Batman and Robin. Yeah.
Yeah.
Well, the
Same.
thing that's funny about Batman and Robin is that the villains are actually trying to save the world. But, okay.
Exactly. Villains
Yeah.
are interesting.
To me too.
But I want to get back to Another Simple Favor.
All right,
Evan,
all right.
do you? No. That's a good analogy. Well, sort of a good analogy. We just don't agree with
Right.
with your takedown of Batman and Robin.
I'm taking the historical view, not
yes.
Megan's view.
Or Evans.
Or
likes
Evans,
it too.
yes.
Mhm.
Evan, do you have anything else you want to say about Another Simple Favor?
I wish I liked this. I really wanted to. I liked the first one. I like the
first one's
first one.
great.
Yeah, I like Blake Lively. I like Anna Kendrick as performers. I think they still have a real rat-a-tat, like, kind of back and forth in this movie. It's really like, Spitfire takes at each other. I don't know that the humor always works when, she's saying things like, brother fucker and stuff like that. But yeah, there's something there between them. I think they have chemistry, even if I feel like the things around them aren't necessarily working. And I mean, it's a little on the nose, I think, to have Allison Janney in this to play the kooky aunt. Like, we've seen her play so many characters that are like this before. It just, you couldn't pick someone more interesting or less obvious than Allison Janney.
I'm so glad you said that, because as soon as Allison Janney comes on screen, I'm like, oh, well, she's the murderer. She's the villain. Like, as soon as she's on the screen. So it would have been, she would have been a better red herring than actually having her as the villain. So
Yeah.
I agree. Totally agree with you.
But yeah, I don't know. I wanted to like this. Megan, did you enjoy this at least?
No, but Italy is gorgeous. So the location shooting is great. And I saw the podcast Breakfast All Day. I haven't listened to their episode about this, but in like the description, they talk about all the great hats in this movie. There are a lot of amazing hats. And like, there's this really enormous black and white hat that Blake Lively wears, and it's great. So I liked some of the fashion and I liked the scenery, but that's it. I think this is poorly written. I think it's poorly acted, except like you said, Evan, I think Anna Kendrick and Blake Lively are great. I think they have a really, really great rapport. And you're right, their banter is great. Not the content of their banter,
Right.
but the delivery of their banter is great. Yeah.
Mhm.
So this could have been good if it was really much better written. The writing, I just think, is terrible. And I cannot get over the flippant handling of sexual assault. Like, it is mind-blowing how cavalier it is.
Yeah.
I don't care
it's a
how
real
dark of a
fuck
comedy
moment.
it is. Yeah. I don't care how dark of a comedy it is. That is just gross. It's terrible. I expect better.
Well, yeah, it's just, and then it's used as a punchline.
Yes.
Like, as if that wasn't bad enough, then Anna Kendrick is turning around and calling her sister fucker because she calls him brother fucker. or calls her brotherfucker. Like, what? No, why are we making jokes about this? This isn't funny.
Right.
Like, not even a little bit funny.
No. I didn't think the brotherfucker jokes were funny in the first film, but I get it. But yeah, no, but that was consensual sex, at least. This is sexual assault. This is not consensual. It's gross.
Right.
Yeah. Yeah. No, it was pretty piss poor. I did not enjoy this. Like I said, I liked looking at it. I think I would have enjoyed it more if I could look at it. Well, not the sexual assault scene, obviously, but look at the fashion, look at Italy, and just like turn the sound off. Yeah, I wish it was more. I feel like they were trying to go for like a Knives Out vibe. But those are fun. Those are well written. Those have great casts, and
they're not mean spirited.
No.
Right.
I mean, the first one has like a really sharp commentary on classism and immigration, but it's not mean. You're absolutely right, Dave. It's not, and so yeah.
No, I know I didn't see this, but I'm going to go out on a limb and say Paul Feig's just not as good as everybody says he is. That's all I'm going to say.
I agree with that, actually. I mean, I love Spy and I love Bridesmaids. I also think those are sharply written films.
Exactly.
I mean,
Ghostbusters is a fucking trash script, and it's terrible. You know,
I don't
he didn't
mind
write
it.
this, I guess. I mean,
he didn't write this.
No, he did not.
Yeah,
but
well, he also didn't write Bridesmaids.
Yeah, I know. Like exactly. This says a lot, I think.
Yeah.
Also, when you have that cast with a script like that,
right?
I mean, you'd really have to work hard to fuck it up.
Mm-hmm. Totally agree. But yeah, no, I was going through his filmography and I was like, I actually think I dislike more of his films than like, but I do like A Simple Favor. That's a good movie. It
is.
And I really love the queer undertones happening. And I kind of like that they bring that back and kind of almost lean into that in this one, but
they come very close to making out, I feel like, in several scenes.
Yeah.
Like,
well, I rewatched the first one and they do in the first one too. They do make out in the first one.
Yeah. But that pool scene in particular where they're like having drinks in the pool, I was like, they seem like they are right about to kiss.
That's what listen, that's where this movie should have gone. They should have given me
chaotic bisexuals.
That's what I want to see. I want to see them committing capers.
That would have been an interesting movie for sure.
And instead, we get this nonsense. And then at the end, Emily not fakes her death, but then she frames her. Well, she doesn't really frame her other triplet sister because her triplet sister killed like 7 people. But then her triplet sister goes to prison in her place. And then she's on the run in Italy. And then she says to Stephanie, she calls her and she's like, hey, can you keep watching my son and raise him? Like, I'm sorry, what?
Right. And she's clinking glasses with the mom of the crime family as if to indicate she is now like running this crime family. They're like co-presidents of this crime family together. Like, what?
Oh my God. I don't know. Yeah, this movie's a mess.
Yeah. I wanted to say in the opening, like, Dave, you're lucky you didn't watch it, but I was like, I can't give away my opinion this early. Gotta really bury the lead and then just kind of pull the rug out.
Yeah.
Oh my God. Yeah. I mean, I guess if you can shut your brain off completely, it's fun to just watch, but no. Oh, and this could have been good.
It could have been good. It had such potential, but like you said, at least the setting is nice and the fashions, like they have some amazing hats and outfits that they wear throughout this movie.
I know. Yeah. Really good. Really good. So, oh, well. Well, this is on Prime Video now. So, yeah.
It's a thing you can watch.
It's a thing you can watch, yes. So, all right, let's talk about our next movie that all 3 of us got to see. The slasher horror comedy Clown in a Cornfield, based on the novel by Adam Cesare. And it is directed by Eli Craig. The screenplay is by Carter Blanchard and Eli Craig. And it stars Katie Douglas, Aaron Abrams, Carson McCormick, Vincent Muller, Kevin Durand, and Will Sasso. Mad TV, Will Sasso.
Yep, that Will Sasso.
Yeah.
Mhm.
So here is the synopsis from the press release. Quinn and her father have just moved to the quiet town of Kettle Springs, hoping for a fresh start. Instead, she discovers a fractured community that has fallen on hard times after the treasured Bay Pen corn syrup factory burned down. As the locals bicker amongst themselves and tensions boil over, a sinister, grinning figure emerges from the cornfields to cleanse the town of its burdens, one bloody victim at a time. Yes, that's
Nice.
Friendo the clown.
Yep.
So yeah, that is a pretty accurate description. Quinn and her father move from Philly to Missouri. They don't say that in the film, but that's where it is in the book. And yeah, it's very, very different than Philadelphia. It's very, very rural, and they care a lot about their traditions, and they talk about the Founders Day and how important that is. And they talk about the closing of the factory because it burned down, and they blame this group of teens that Quinn has become friends with. And everybody is telling her to stay away from these teens because they're troublemakers. But they don't really tell her why, other than they may have burned down the factory, which they
making them
say
YouTube videos.
Yes, they're making horror movie YouTube videos, which
are quite good, I have to say.
Actually, they are really
pretty quite talented.
Yeah, actually they are. I know, during the parade for the Founders Day, the blonde was like, "Oh, you do this and you do that," and I was like, "Oh yeah, she's actually like doing a good job, like directing, like where the camera should be." So anyway, they take that very seriously. So, and Quinn starts hanging out with one of the guys in the friend group and really likes him. And then they all go to this party and murder starts happening. Well, actually, murder started happening before that because two of the guys from the friend group, got murdered in their homes. One got murdered while he was lifting weights.
Yep.
And his head got chopped off. And then the other guy, I don't remember how he dies.
Oh, he knows that someone's gotten into his house. Like he saw the clown on like the ring cam or whatever. And then he's like wandering around the house, and there's like a million fake outs where you think like, oh, that's the moment the clown's like your body is bracing for a jump scare like the whole time. And then it just like, it lingers for so long while he's like looking around. And then he's like looking through a closet, and then he like closes the door to the closet. Mirror. You see the clown in the mirror, and then he turns around and like gets murdered on a tarp that the clown had put out to collect.
Yes, he laid down.
I thought that was very interesting.
Smart.
That murder was like really planned, and then like the other guy got his head lopped off and tossed into a cooler.
Sure did. So then the party is happening, and then they're like, "Hey, where's so and so and so and so? We haven't seen them." Oh well. And so they're at this party, and then a clown shows up. And well, actually, first of all, somebody comes out of the cornfield and it isn't looking so good. And Quinn starts screaming, and then the other two girls are like, no, it's blah, 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 and blah, blah, blah. Don't worry. They're playing a prank on us. Don't worry.
Sticking out of her back too.
Right. And they kind of like, they do like a boing, like, like whatever. It's just fake. So then they're over there, and Quinn she gets close to her. She crouches down, and she's like, guys, she doesn't have a pulse.
This is also, by the way, the friends got the head of the other friend thrown at them, and they're like, la, like this is a joke, haha.
Yeah, because they think
like
it's
waving
fake.
the head around.
They think they made a plaster cast.
Yeah.
Oh right, the blonde one is holding the head when Quinn says she doesn't have a pulse, and she's like, yeah.
And then she tosses the head, and the blood goes all over the other one. Yes, exactly. So then Friendo comes out of the cornfield, and then a whole bunch of other Friendos, a whole army of clowns. I should also mention the film opens in the 90s, and two teens are going to have sex in the cornfield, always a no-no in a slasher movie, and they get murdered by Friendo. So anyway, then back to the present day, all these Friendos come out and start running and chasing people and trying to kill everybody, and it's mayhem. So that's basically the bulk of the film, is everyone trying to run away from the clowns, and then the murderous clowns. And then, spoiler alert, the murderous clowns are a bunch of the townspeople, including including the guy Quinn likes, his father, who owns the corn syrup factory, including Will Sasso as the sheriff.
Yep.
And
I saw that coming a mile away.
God, yeah, totally. Yeah. Including one of the teachers at the school who gives all the teens shit. And including the food server at the diner, and then a guy at the convenience store, a whole bunch of people we've seen already. And basically, this is a tradition where they go around and kill.
Yeah, they cull. They talk about culling. They're like, we've had some bad crops that we've had to cull.
Yes.
Like every generation has one. Like we did one in the 30s, we did one in the 60s, and got rid of them damn hippies.
The
And then in the 90s, we got rid of those fucking burnouts. Those 90s burnouts, and now we got these fucking Gen Z assholes with their, cat videos. Like, let's kill them.
I remember when he says cat videos, I was like, that's great. That's great.
Amazing. Cat videos are great. Anyway, but yeah, and then he also is the guy who owns the corn syrup factory. He's going to kill his own son. So, and we also find out that kid is gay and is in love with Quinn's next door neighbor.
The tall guy.
Yes. Yeah. By the way, one's called Cole and one's called Rust. Rust Cole is Matthew McConaughey's character from True Detective. So,
sure is.
Yeah. So I was like, oh, I should have known that they belong together because Rust Cole. Anyway. So then Quinn's dad, who is a doctor, and he was held at gunpoint to do surgery at his clinic on one of the masked clowns who gets shot.
His hand blown off by the shotgun.
Yes. And he ends up stabbing one of them in the neck and letting the other guy bleed out, and then comes with his car to save the day, to save everybody. And then, so all the clowns get murdered. And then we fast forward a year later when Quinn is leaving for college, and Rust and Cole are an item, and that's the end.
Yep.
And she gets the little Jack in the Box, which other people have gotten, and she chucks it out the window. And that's how it ends. All right. So, guys, what did you think? Dave, kick things off. What did you think of this?
I think Katie Daniels is way too old to be playing a teenager. But, I mean, she's got to be... I looked at her and I was like, it's the girl version of Judd Nelson in The Breakfast Club. It's like, this woman's like 25 years old. What the hell is this? Now, she is tiny. I guess that's maybe what, part of it is. But I thought it was just kind of interesting in that not opening, but when she's walking to school with, is it Rust or Cole? I can't remember.
With Rust.
Rust, yes.
He is like twice her size. I was like, well, how did they even think they were going to frame this? Wow. Very well done. I don't know. I kind of liked this. I mean, I thought it was fun. I thought the kills were kind of fun. I wasn't sure how they were going to, when the three girls were running through the cornfield, I wasn't sure how they were going to do the two who aren't Quinn in. I can't remember their names, but I appreciated the chainsaw out of nowhere to the gut. I was like, that's pretty good. And then I loved it when the blonde got the pitchfork and Quinn pulls it out to stab the clown. And then she says, I hate you, Quinn. And then the guy, the dead clown says, I hate you too. And then they die side by side.
Yeah. Oh my God. Best
I was
moment
like,
in the movie, I thought.
I like that. I like that a lot. I also like the fact that there were like a million friendos. I didn't see that coming. I thought it was going to be Will Sasso, or I figured it was going to be Will Sasso. But then it's very noticeable when Will Sasso is a big guy, and so when he finally comes up dressed as the clown, you're like, oh, that's Will Sasso.
Right.
Yeah, it was just funny how I don't really think the movie is trying to hide actually who Friendo is, or at least some of them are. But if they are trying to hide it, try harder. But I had fun with this. I thought it was largely well acted. I thought it was paced really quickly, which is good. I feel like a lot of horror movies these days getting kind of long in the tooth with all of their backstories, and just give me to the killing. That's why we're watching this fucking thing, right? And
I want the backstory.
Oh, I do too. But I haven't watched a lot of horror movies in a while, and I just kind of feel like the ones I have been watching lately,
Mhm.
I just haven't enjoyed so much. So this is, I was just glad that this was kind of, a quick little jaunt. And I also
Getting down to
appreciated,
business.
yeah, I also
of the killing.
appreciated that the message from the teens was basically a big fuck you to boomers. I appreciated that. You're the ones who ruined it for us. Instead of, listening, you just talked about how we didn't, appreciate anything. And it's like, welcome to every parent in 1985. So,
Yeah.
yeah, I like that. I knew that I didn't figure that Cole was gay until Quinn was trying to bone him, and he was like, I was like, oh, this he's gay. That's why he said earlier, I don't know who I am sometimes.
Right.
Or whatever, when Rust, saved their lives. I didn't know that he was, secretly having an affair. They're fucking 17 with Rust, but
I picked up a little something when Rust was talking about him rehearsing his boy band moves. I was like, there's an intimacy there that I don't know. I just got that sense already that there was a little something there. And then when it happened, I was like, aha.
Yeah. And I liked how they all worked together instead of turning on each other, even though that, some of them did still end up dead. But I actually thought it was a little unfortunate that the two other girls ended up dead, because I thought that they were pretty resourceful and, they were just kind of fun too. The death in the cornfield, although not as gruesome, it's gruesome because it's a chainsaw to the gut, but it's, the wide shot is clearly CGI blood. The close up is practical blood, but it reminded me of the Fear Street 94 with the head through the bread slicer, which I watched afterward, and I was like, no, that one's still more gruesome, but the clown in the cornfield is effective, like that one is too, because you think, oh, this character's. I really thought this is going to be. We've got 52 clowns who are killing people. Maybe all of the girls, maybe they'll all be final girls. Nope.
Well, it's funny that you say that, because Quinn, I was like, okay, it's a gender neutral name. She's immediately going to be the final girl because she's the protagonist too. And then Ronnie, that's the name of one of the girls. And I was like, she's got a gender neutral name too. Yeah. So maybe there'll be two final girls. Yeah. So I went with you. I was kind of bummed.
Yeah. So it did subvert some expectations. I thought, the reveal that it was all the adults was not a surprise. No. Like I said, we'd already figured out Will Sasso just because it's so obvious. I mean, you cast Will Sasso in this kind of role. He's a larger than life guy. He's a big guy. He's a funny guy, and he's playing somebody who's too funny to be a sheriff and doesn't listen to the kids at all. It's so on the nose that it's kind of like, I don't know. Although I do appreciate Will Sasso getting a chance to play a killer, Yeah. I'm telling you, if after Cops and Robertsons, Chevy Chase had decided to play like an evil serial killer dad, then it would have gone a lot better for him. Megan is shaking her head.
I hate Chevy Chase so much.
I'm just saying that, his career just never.
I think you're right. Yeah.
I think a lot of these actors who tried to stay in one lane should have reinvented themselves,
No, I think you're spot on.
So anyway, this is fun. I don't think it's anything revelatory or anything like that, but it was a hoot, whatever.
All right, Evan, what did you think?
I very much enjoyed this movie. I had a blast with it. I was really not expecting, with a movie titled Clown in a Cornfield, that I would enjoy it as much as I did. It really pleasantly surprised me. I didn't realize it was based on a novel. Now I'm kind of like, I don't know. The novel's kind of interesting to me now after watching this movie.
Yeah, and I figured it was going to be a short novel. It's like 350. It's a real novel.
Really?
So, sorry, I didn't mean to interrupt you there. But
no, it's all good. So yeah, I really enjoyed this. I thought it was well paced. I thought it was very funny. I liked the kills. I liked that this was kind of like, for me, it felt very reminiscent of Hot Fuzz, where you have this like town, like these townspeople that are like killing off other townspeople for like kind of hilarious reasons, where they're just like, well, they're not part of the image we're trying to cultivate here, so let's just kill them. And the generational divide piece felt very similar to Tone Deaf in terms of just like that whole like intergenerational clashing that was going on. I wasn't super surprised either that it turned out it was the adults based on all the kind of offhand sniping that the adults were doing about like, oh, people of your generation. I'm like, oh, okay, I see what's going on, what groundwork we're laying here. And I did think it was really effective when all those friendos started popping out of the cornfield. Like, oh my God, it's like everybody, like all the adults are in on this. That was actually a really cool reveal. I like you, Dave, I found that scene with the pitchfork really, really funny. I love the thing about how Quinn's dad bought her the car and was going to teach her to drive stick as a bonding experience. She's like, no, Dad, I'm good. And then later she gets in the truck and she's like, when your dad offers to teach you stick, you fucking she was like realizing the error of her ways. And then, I loved how like at the end she had to drive stick to get them all like to the hospital. So her dad had to like teach her how to drive while they were trying to get away.
They were all very supportive of her.
Yeah, they were. And that was just a really fun way to kind of like wrap up everything.
Yeah.
I very much enjoyed this. I was not expecting to. Pleasantly surprised. What about you?
Glad you both enjoyed it. Yeah, I liked this. I like it for all the reasons you both said. For me, I'm knee deep watching 80s slashers because we are in the midst of recording season 2 of the slashers. So I am watching a lot, and it very much feels like a throwback and a love letter to 80s slashers because it uses all of the tropes that 80s slashers have. And I thought the kill, much like, again, both of you, I'm going to be repeating some things. The kills were really great. I love the chainsaw kill. I love that there are kills in the cornfield as well as outside of the cornfield.
Yeah.
Because it would be kind of disappointing if there were no kills in the cornfield.
Right.
And also,
agreed.
I have to say, I read as a child Stephen King's Children of the Corn, and it was an intense experience. Like, I still remember it. It was like summer. It was late at night. The windows were open. It was really quiet, and it was creepy as fuck. So I now have like in my brain that like cornfields are creepy. And then you mix it with clowns. Clowns are terrifying. Clowns are scary. So they're creepy, also creepy as fuck. So when all of the friendos start coming out of the cornfield, I'm like, oh, like getting the willies, because it was good. It was a good visual. And it was great. I love that there were so many killers, because I thought for sure, like both of you, I knew Will Sasso. I was like, for sure he is the murderer. But then I was like, oh, are they going to go the Scream route and have 2 killers? Well, they did, but they amplified it, and it was a bunch of killers. So I thought that was really, really smart. I liked that a lot. I liked that Rust and Cole were both queer, and they end up being a couple. I thought that was really nice. I liked Quinn's relationship with her dad, and like that they're both dealing with the death of her mom, his wife.
That was surprisingly nuanced.
Yeah, it was. I was not really expecting that in kind of like an 80s love letter throwback slasher. Yeah, so I liked that. And yeah, this was a fun time. This was a fun time. So I like that there's a little bit of commentary in here, because I feel like, horror movie, all art is political. I say this constantly, and horror is an extremely political genre. So I feel like I don't want to say you can't have some kind of commentary, but horror mostly does. But I like this commentary. And like you were saying, Dave, I like how the kids are like, well, basically you're fucking things up, and, why are you blaming us? So anyway, I liked it for all the reasons you said, both of you. I think this was a fun time.
Cool.
And I was excited to see this because I was kind of like on the fence before, but after it premiered at South by Southwest, I had heard great things about it. And then it was also at Overlook Fest, and I heard more good things. So I was like, I got to see this. And plus I was like, it's a slasher. I'm always intrigued by a slasher. So
Hello, good slasher.
Good slasher is good.
You probably know this, but The Burning, is that what it's called, with Cropsey?
Yes.
Yeah.
We covered that season 1.
4K.
Love that one.
Just came out.
Ooh, nice.
Yes, I have it.
Nice.
Will I get around to watching it? Good question. But
that has
right?
such a great death scene.
What, Evan?
You've seen The Burning?
Ages ago. Yeah.
Oh, okay. I was like, I'm sure you would have had to have seen it. To be surprised if you hadn't.
No. It's just that it's one of the ones that everyone's like, this is fucking great. And everyone's like, it's a horror movie. Meh. Which comes up a lot on the slashers. For example, Visiting Hours is another one. But
Listen,
anyway,
I love Visiting Hours, and I will go hard in the paint defending Visiting Hours.
You got to love the Canucks and their weirdness, creeping into the movies. Anyway, yeah. So that's all. There's just a little aside there.
No, but thank you. I'm glad you let me know about The Burning because I did not know there was a 4K release.
Mm-hmm.
But yeah, that has a great death scene in it. Very memorable. But yeah, no, The Burning is good stuff. I'm glad you like it too, Evan.
Yeah, it's one of those ones I remember renting back in the Netflix DVD days and thinking, well, this movie's fucking awesome. How come more people don't know about this one or talk about this one?
Yeah. It's really the fucking best.
Mm-hmm.
And it's got like a bunch of future stars in it. It does. Totally bizarre.
Mm-hmm,
yeah.
Mm-hmm. Totally true. All right. Do we have anything else to say about Clown in a Cornfield?
No, it's just if you like your killing and you like your cornfields.
It's really good killing. Yeah.
It is good killing.
Yeah. That first one too, where the guy gets held up by the scarecrow. Like I forget what the killer is using. Like he stabs him and then holds him up in the air and he's like hanging up by the scarecrow. I thought that was really effective.
Oh right.
Yes. That was really visually striking too. Yeah, and it also reminded me of the chainsaw kill later. Like I liked that kind of callback to it. Yeah, no.
The music. Right. I thought the music was actually really good in this movie too.
Yes.
Well, not stuff I was familiar with, but thought, okay, these are some good songs in this.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
Mm-hmm. I also appreciated that the girl who was murdered first in the cornfield told her boyfriend to run.
That was nice.
It's like that's your last words as a living person are to warn someone else, and then he didn't fucking run.
No. Speaking of that girl, I will say the one thing that took me out of this movie is her hairstyle, because I'm like, that's not a 90s hairstyle. But
that's true. It's not.
Right?
I didn't think about it, but now that you say it, yeah.
And I know that's like kind of a silly thing to say because there's always a range of hairstyles that people have, but I'm like, that is not 90s at all. Like early 90s. No. I was like, come on, get somebody who knows what's going on. But yeah. And I do agree with you, Dave. I wish that Ronnie and the blonde, the two girls, had stuck around longer. I also wish they kind of had a tighter friendship with Quinn, because I feel like she spends so much time with the guy who's the son of the corn syrup company. Cole.
Yeah,
the
mayor of the town.
Yes, thank you. He is the mayor. I kept wanting to say the mayor, and then I was like, no, he owns the corn syrup factory, but you're right. He was both. Yeah, I feel like there was so much time in that, and like Cole's kind of set up as like a red herring, that I was like, oh man, I wanted some more female friendship. But
yeah.
Oh, also wanted to mention, I forgot to mention an homage kill in this. The weightlifting kill is straight out of Happy Birthday to Me.
Yes, it is. It is. That's a good kill.
Yeah.
Here and in Happy Birthday to Me. Yeah.
I like Happy Birthday to Me a lot. I think it's underrated. It's a little slow, but it is underrated.
Yeah, that's a good one. I agree with you.
And it's also fun to see Mary from Little House on the Prairie be the protagonist in not the Little House on the Prairie.
Very true. Very true. All right. Do we have anything else to say about Clown in a Cornfield?
No.
Nope.
I feel like clowns talk creepily, so.
They do, yes.
They just are creepy.
It's kind of funny how clowns have become creepy, you know? I remember when I first thought clowns were creepy, but
yeah,
I was very little.
It's funny that you say that, because I remember when it came out, and like Pennywise, obviously the clown is so creepy. But yeah, I thought clowns were creepy even before that. So I don't know.
Yeah. Oh, well.
All right. Well, let's do and Clown in a Cornfield is in theaters as of May 12th. So let's do a recap. Evan, I think it's safe to say you and I would both say skip another Simple Favor.
Yeah. hell no. Don't see that shit.
No, just watch the first one again. The first one's great. Watch that. And I think it's safe to say all three of us would recommend Clown in a Cornfield, right?
Yes.
Yeah. That's coming to Shudder too, I think, right? The
Later this year.
Yeah.
But not on the 12th, no. Just in theaters.
Yeah, go see it. This is a really fun movie.
Take your peeps.
Horror movies are so fun when you go in a group or when you see it in a theater. Yeah.
Put some peanut M&Ms in your popcorn. I mean, fucking do it up.
I was like, why would you put your peanut M&Ms in your popcorn?
Maybe you want a little crunchy sweet with your salt, goddammit. Jeez.
Yeah, a chocolate product with a popcorn is nice.
Wait a minute.
A snow cap and a popcorn.
Like, why is everyone fucking with me?
Oh, no. No, I wasn't. I was thinking about it. And then I was about to say that actually sounds delightful. But a snow cap, why would you ruin it with a snow cap? Do you like a snow cap, Evan?
Yeah, nice chocolatey, crunchy.
I don't know if I've ever had a snow cap.
Crunch. You've never had a snow cap?
Are those the ones with the little, like, the kind of the white sprinkles on top of the... Yeah, I always think it looks like a bird took a shit, so I've never...
See, I don't like them because I don't think... Well, now I can't eat them. I don't eat any of this stuff. But I never thought they were chocolatey enough. I want, like, chocolate. Like, I want to hit me in the face with chocolate.
It was Easter recently, and although we are not a religious family even a little bit, the boys got Easter baskets, and Kinder Egg chocolate is really good.
Oh, is it? Oh,
yes.
Nice.
It's velvety smooth and very light.
Ooh.
Everyone's always talking about how fucking great dark chocolate is, and I had a little milk chocolate this year. Why aren't we having more milk chocolate? God damn it. All right. There's my rant. I agree.
Milk chocolate's better. I just wish they would make it more milk chocolate with like oat milk. But yes, I agree. Milk chocolate's better than dark chocolate, except for Taza chocolate. Taza dark chocolate, so good.
I would say also, if you've never had Tony's Chocolonely, that is some pretty kick-ass chocolate. And
Tony's Chocolonely?
Chocolonely, yeah. They're these big bars that you can see in the store with like big colorful labels.
Tony's a Chocolonely. Yeah. Also, a good dark chocolate, the Reese's Peanut Butter Cup dark chocolate butter. Ooh. Those are actually pretty good.
Nice. Good
okay.
Stuff.
Well, we've now talked about horror and movie popcorn and yeah.
But no, I agree with you, Dave, about sweet and salty because chocolate-covered potato chips are delightful.
Yeah.
Or pretzels. That's one of my favorites.
Yeah, those are good too. Yeah.
Chocolate-covered pretzels are a delight.
Yeah, I think I need to start putting chocolate in popcorn, Dave. I think you've hit the jackpot.
I have hit upon something. Yes.
You hit Flavor Town.
It's not just a hat rack, Megan. Okay.
You're just chock full of good ideas too.
Right.
All right. Well, we want to thank you all for listening. We want to give a huge thank you to our editor, Otto Clammer. Otto, thanks so much for making us sound great week after week.
Thank you, Otto.
Thanks, Otto.
You can find Spoiler Piece Theater anywhere you get podcasts. You can also find us at our website, spoilerpiece.com. You can find us all over the place on social media. We're at Spoiler Piece on Blue Sky, Facebook, Twitter, Instagram, Threads, and Letterboxd. Come say hello. Let us know what you think of these movies. Let us know if you haven't seen them, what you're interested in seeing. We always like hearing from you. Let us know your thoughts on snacks and chocolate and popcorn. You can also email us, spoilerpiece@gmail.com, or you can give us a call
at 862-21-PEACE.
Leave us a voicemail message, text us. We just love hearing from you. If you like the show, please consider rating and reviewing us. That helps us out a lot. You can go to ratethispodcast.com/spoilerpiece, take you to your preferred platform of choice, or you can just rate us directly on Apple Podcasts, which helps us out a lot, and Spotify, either one. If you really, really like the show, consider joining our Patreon. We put out weekly bonus episodes for $5 a month, and you also get to vote in monthly polls. We're going to have 2 this month. And this week we talked about Companion. We had a great conversation, so go check that out if you are a patron. Consider joining if you're not. And if Patreon's not your vibe, you can also get our merch at our TeePublic store through our website. We have all kinds of goodies, hoodies, pillows, magnets, tote bags, the whole shebang. So go check that out too. My name is Megan Kearns. I write for Edge Media Network. I'm a co-host of the Slashers podcast. So if you like slashers, like our conversation on Clown and Cornfield, you can go check that out too. And I'm a member of the Boston Online Film Critics Association and a member of Gallica. You can follow me on Blue Sky and Twitter at Opinion S World, or on Instagram and Letterboxd at The Opinion S.
My name is Dave Riedel. I write about movies. I'm a member of the Boston Online Film Critics Association, and I'm on your social medias at I'm Dave Sees Movies on most everything. I'm not on Twitter. And on Blue Sky, I'm David Riedel at Blue Sky. I don't know. I was like, I can choose my own. My whole name's available. Sweet. I think that's what it was.
Yoink.
Exactly. Going to take that one. Anyway.
And my name is Evan Crean. I'm co-chair of the Boston Online Film Critics Association, co-author of your 80s movie guide, Better Living, and co-host of the It's the Pictures podcast. You can follow me on social media as Real Recon, and that's real as in film reel.
I'm so glad we're all back together again.
Yeah.
Thank you so much for listening, and we'll see you next time.
Bye.
Bye.